So today we're going to take a look at the Haslab Vintage Collection Mos Eisley Cantina. So for a lot of modern Star Wars collectors, this set represents a culmination of all of this. See, this here is Hasbro's modern attempt at the Cantina and the Cantina Aliens. It started with the 95 Power of the Force line, that went into the Power of the Jedi, original trilogy collection, Saga, 30th anniversary, Legacy, and then it ended with the Vintage Collection line. This is a lot of history right here. I mean, this represents 30 years of collecting. And to a lot of fans, that's a long time, especially if you're of the millennial Gen X age. But one thing this set did trigger was a lot of FOMO when it was released. Did it warrant that FOMO? Or was there maybe a little bit of buyer's remorse? Let's unpack those thoughts, unbox this thing, and talk a little bit of toys. Man, I gotta tell you, most of my toy collecting comes from this era. And if TVC were to end tomorrow or next year or whatever, I would still be collecting. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I collect the 3 3/4 line. I'm a 3 3/4 collector. I don't really consider myself a TVC collector. I collect this world building, awesome, wonderful scale. Right out the gate, that original 95 Power of the Force gave us a good amount of Cantina aliens. We got a Greedo, Hammerhead, we got some Jawas, and then we got some Cinema Scene 3-packs. There's the other one. We got Black Sivrak. And with this cardboard diorama, we got this version of the Stormtrooper. It came with all that. And then, of course, as the line progressed, we got a bunch of other aliens to fill out this cantina. All right, now it's just the cantina and us. It's time to open it. I guess we can start with this one. Okay. This would be a lot better if you guys were closer. All right. Okay, I don't see what everybody's talking about. This doesn't look that complicated. Oh wait, it's just for the one box. I can't. Oh boy. Something tells me I'm not going to get any sleep tonight. So that's the deluxe part. So let's get rid of that. Okay. All right. So there's the top of the box. Ooh. Good Lord. Good golly, Miss Molly. This is insane. Oh my God, I put together IKEA furniture that was easier than this. Seriously, I'm surprised this didn't come with a Haslab Allen wrench or something. Good God. Oh my goodness, look at this piece. Looks like there's something missing. I can't wait to see later what goes on top of that. Right. All right, here we go. Oh, awesome! Oh my goodness. Okay. This is pretty awesome. That's cool. So, yeah, absolutely gonna rip these out of the package. I'll do that last. I'll do that when I open up the other figures that I had here on the shelf. So 100%, all those are all gonna get opened up. All right, we're going back to the unboxing. Okay, this nightmare right here. Yay, gold brittle plastic. Oh my God, don't tell me this is just as, please don't be as hard as, oh, okay, well that's not too bad. I'm I have an older playset that's gold. It's a Masters of the Universe Eternia playset. And the gold pieces on those are very, very brittle. Now, I don't know if they're brittle because they were made that way, so they were brittle in the 80s, or they got brittle with age. Who knows? So hopefully we don't have that problem with those. Hey, look at these stickers. Very Empire Toy Works. I love it. Cool. Look at it. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's not bad. Was that a tear? I don't even remember. Oh God. Does the tea light fit in this? All right, from here on, I'm just gonna read the instructions and do what that tells me. Look at this. They even tell you how to unbox it in the instructions. Okay, so basically you take it out, I guess, I don't know. Just don't do what I did. I just took them out and made it up as I went along. Well, this looks very frustrating. Oh my goodness. You know, with the amount of money that they saved on labor, did they know at that time that we were going to end up being the ones putting this thing together? I don't know. Do we need to ask that question now with every Haslab? Like, at least with IKEA books, we know what we're getting into. But with this one, it's like, hi, page 1's got this many steps. Page 2's got... Good grief. I guess they don't want to give us the bad news of how long we're going to be here at the beginning. All right. Next time you see this, I will have half of it or most of it together. Okay, no, we're not doing that. No, please don't with the tissue. What, can I have it back? You jerk. I'm gonna take the box. Taking the box. Just leave the box alone. Oh, that made it worse. That, not as bad. Okay, we're at the first page here. This is 4C. Because it says it right there somewhere. I don't know. 4C. Okay. Oh, what the hell? Bruh. They don't snap. Why don't you snap? I like a snap to let me know I'm doing it right. Oh my God. This is horrible. This is absolute. Oh, and the IG 4D. All right. This is like exactly like IKEA. Like once you get in the zone, you got it. It's like, you got it, sure, whatever. Right? Ish. Lord, I spoke too soon. Oh my gosh. Okay, whatever. All right, let's check this out here. So I'd like to start off and talk about some of the design choices that they made when they engineered this. Now, let me start off with the centerpiece part of this playset, and that is the bar. Now, if you move this a little bit here, you'll see that it already came apart. That came off. I'm going to offer you an explanation as to why. Okay, so it's obvious what we're looking at here. That's the bar. On one end of the bar, it had two female receivers. It butted right up against that end of the wall that had two male receivers. It provided a good tight contact. But the problem was right here. This is where it fell apart. Because as you can see, let me take that apart here. Right here, it has a male protruder and a female receiver. Then on this side, it had a male protruder and a female receiver right there, the slots. So those connect fine. They make a nice solid connection right there. The problem was here in the middle. The problem's also here too, by the way. I'll show you that in a second. This middle piece, you can see how easy it fell apart. I'm holding it with the same grip. This side is not falling apart like this one. And the reason why, and it's for the same reason that the middle is falling apart, is because the two female receivers do not have male protruders. They only have those two top holes there on the top. Right there. got two male receivers right there. There's those, and they go with this right here. These two holes right there. So that connects only with those two top holes, the two male and female parts right there. See that? On the top right there, those two with those two, they connect like that. But they're not very strong because these two female holes do not have the male protruders that go with it. So for that reason, it's falling apart every time you move your cantina. So again, this side is fine. Up until there, it's somewhat decent. But the issue is, again, right here, as you add the long piece to the bar, it doesn't have the male protruders on this side of the curved part. It has female receivers right here, but none of the male protruders right there. See how easy it was? So that's an issue. So every time you move this bar a little bit, something like this, it's gonna unhook there at the end. And I'm sorry, but this is your centerpiece. That's the center part of your bar. One issue that a lot of people were having was, where do you put the band? I have an answer, but I had to look under the technical journal, the Star Wars technical journal. But I'll be honest with you, the answer to this question is going to bring up a whole other can of worms. So as you can see right here, this, by the way, is that. This is what we're looking at right there. So if you look at this, you'll notice right there, bandstand. But look where it is. It is in the middle alcove. I should say the middle side alcove. There's an alcove right there where it is. But then here's a different alcove. So there's 1, 2, 3 side alcoves and then a corner alcove. Kind of like a pool table. Side pocket, corner pocket. So there's 1, 2, 3 side alcoves and a corner. Well, let's see what we got. We got 2 sides and 1 corner. On this diagram, look where the bar ends. The bar ends right there. So this piece right here, that wall, it goes right into where an alcove, a third alcove would have been. See that? That's the end of the bar. And then the third alcove would have been right there. Incidentally, what we got here, we got this. This is what we all ordered because the cantina, the bar ends right there. You see right there? But about 2/3 of it is all we got. See that? So right here, this alcove right here is this one. Bandstand. See that? Right there. So because of that, I'm going to put this aside here for a second. I put the band members right here. So this corner alcove right here is this. If they had just molded a proper corner alcove, just like right there, see this table right there? That would have been right here, because that corner alcove would have butt up right against that first alcove, which would have been right there. So they would have been right next to each other. But instead of molding or designing a proper corner alcove, they put one of these side ones and they just put it there. So in the process of doing that, they made a gap right here. And this gap, if closed up, if they had just molded a corner alcove, then it would have sealed up, or would have made the entire solid, it would have made the cantina solid all the way around. It would have looked a lot more complete. Also, instead of looking at these unfinished squares, if they had just molded an exterior of the cantina, you know, that would have opened up a whole different area in terms of toy photography and diorama space. It just would have looked a whole lot different. And it will look better. It will look complete and whole, which incidentally was one of the biggest complaints that a lot of people had, is that they just didn't feel that it looked complete. Like it didn't have that wow factor, that, hey, this thing is solid, it's complete, and it looks good. And the Barge had that. Razor Crest had that. Ghost had that. And this did not. All right, well, that's it. We talked about enough. Let's open some figures and fill this thing. Opening figures. Look at that. Gorgeous. You seem a decent card. I hate to rip you. He is number 007. Awesome. Ooh, he's unpunched. Oh, Lord. Not anymore. I'm not doing the whole razor blade thing. Okay, it's fine. I just want to open this. Oh my, look at that. Got his blaster. Rules for thee and not for me. He's allowed to have a blaster. Pretty good. Look at that. He's like, hey, don't forget to pay your bar tab. And tips, 20%. There's the ring. Greedo, I'll do you next. Now, we've seen Greedos before. Nice card. Haslab 10. Oh, there's Roar's card, by the way. Greedo, here you go. Look at that. Very nice. He's not soft goods. There he goes. Greedo. Oh, does he have his own cup? Oh, cool. I don't know what that symbol is. There he goes. Oh, that's rad, huh? Oh, that's a gorgeous card. I think I might open this one a little nicer. No, just, all right. All right, well. Whoa. So cool. She came right out. Wow. Cool beehive. Neat belt. Cool, this is a pretty good figure. All these are good figures. Good Lord. TVC is really upping their game. So in the last few years, I mean, these figures look great. Look at that. All right, she's next. She kind of looks like Cher. And they are of different height. All right, we'll get some poses out of these in a little bit here. Let's open the last one. And he was the last tier that everybody hit. Madeline Leeds. That's a cool figure. Gotta be careful with his joints. Right there. Whoa. That's ridiculously cool. These little, All right, let's pose some of these. Let's open up some Cantina aliens. We'll start off with an easy one here to open. Power of the Force, Honda Baba. It's pretty basic, simple, right to the point. All right, this one's kind of a twofer. They were honestly already open. He's a cool figure. Look at this card back. He came on the Attack of the Clones card. There, see? Pretty good. All right, next is Bolshek. He's cool, look at that. He's got a sticker on there, KB Toys $7.99. Isn't that fun? I swear, like back in the day, KB Toys had two prices. They had their regular price, which is a little higher because these are like $5 at Walmart. And then they had their other price, like the $3 for $5 price. It's like one or the other. Ooh, cool. And he has back of his card. He's a smuggler. Yeah, I like this figure. This is like a banger of a figure right here. He's an awesome figure. All right, we got Feltaput Savog next. What's this guy? Oh, I dropped something. He was from the original trilogy collection. He's got a little stand with him. Probably not going to use it. He's already good to go with his little cup. He's like, got my own cup. Danik Jericho. Awesome. He's got, oh, this is going to be interesting. He has the little piece that is a little difficult to keep together in the bar. All right, I got to be careful with this thing. This figure is 20-something years old. Okay. And, yeah. Look at that. Forgot one. Laura's Modoc. He's cool. Just put him anywhere. These were great. They came with a little accessory, a bar accessory when we were all building the bar back when they came out. And here's his bar accessory. This is the same accessory piece that comes with Momana Dome Hammerhead. I missed when the 3 3/4 line had stuff like that. All right, oh, let's open them up. Okay. I bought a second one so I could put it on my other Cantina, my original Cantina. I never got this figure back in the day. So I picked him up at some point, and then he just sat in a box. And then I bought another one. I just noticed when I opened these that one came with the clear cup and one came with the blue cup. Or he was a clean opening. Cool. Mayum Unith. those bar pieces. Ah, I have the bar sections from my other original Cantina, so we'll just put that piece aside. Cool. And now the band. This is it's going to be difficult. Very nice. I have the TVC versions, but I mean, I could always use these. These are some old Power of the Force 2 stands that I had, so they're going on that. Cool. Pretty nice. And cool. Whoa, he just flipped right out of there. Cool. All right, next is Panda Baba. This was the original PVC version. I know there being another one. Don't care. What I'm gonna do is set him up in my older Cantina, then I'll get the new TVC version, I'll put him in this. That's just how I do things. I like to kind of have somewhat of a theme. It's a good looking figure. Make your cup. I pulled these from my other Cantina setup. I'm just gonna kind of keep them around assorted. Brainiac guy. Maybe I'll have him sitting down. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I wanted to show some optional pieces that you can add on to your Cantina. Now, this one right here is the Streets of Mos Eisley playset. Now, you know, these come with a single dome and then a single one of those and one of those arch pieces right there in the back. So what I did was, just to cover up these two, I took the shorter of the two pieces and those go directly over those. Now these can button right there. See that? In the back, there's some space right there. And then going this way, the steps barely clear the end of that. So if you got two of those Streets of Mos Eisley playsets, you can kind of cover up that exterior of the wall right there. So I'm going to come around this side. That's kind of what it looks like dead on. Over here in the back, just for the heck of it, I brought out that the Lars Homestead playset from Legacy Collection. Oh, there's some bangers that came out back in the day. You know, let me show you just this really fast. Look at that up close. Nice weathering, nice paint app, and a nice back. From all angles, it looks good. You know, that's kind of the issue that I have with the modern quote-unquote play set. At least the ones that are made by Hasbro. Okay, right over here. So that's it right there. So if you want to set up your piece like this, if you have the room, well then, let me get this out of the way. It would kind of have this effect. All right, everything is all set up. All the seats are according to this diagram right here in the instruction manual. So all the placement of every single table, chair, sofa, everything is according to the instruction manual. And that's good because we want to get these Cantina aliens all correct, sitting in their respective seats right next to the aliens that they're supposed to be sitting next to. So pretty much everything in here and all the alcoves should be right, solid, like dead on accurate. They should all be exactly where they're supposed to be. And coming around the front over here, snapping these, triple fisting over here. And then the bar right here. Yeah. So they're all standing where they're supposed to be at in relation to the bar. Except him. He's from the holiday special. I found one photograph of, I think, that character from the holiday special. I had two of them, so I just put one of them there. So everything is represented here. This is pretty much all the aliens that are after 2000. So this is all the Power of the Jedi figures, Saga, 30th, everything. Up until the modern, like the Black Series 3 3/4 and TBC figures. We don't really get a lot of Black Series figures in 3 3/4. I think we got just that one Mos Eisley, Ponda Baba, Mr. Evazan. That's Dr. Evazan. I didn't spend 6 years in Evil Medical School to be called Mr. Thank you very much. So he was TVC. There was a lot of figures here from that era. And I'm just trying to keep this modern because I just want to keep this Cantina with that aesthetic, like the modern aesthetic. Don't get me wrong, I love my 95 Power of the Force Cantina. And I've had that thing set up for a long time. And a lot of these aliens are in that setup. He fell over. Party foul, Nabram. That's what you get for drinking that much. But I had that 95 Power of the Force set up. And it's going to stay set up. So this is what it looks like. So if you're setting up and you're going for screen accuracy, or, you know, canonically correct, then this is kind of what it should be looking like. Well, guys, that was my review of this. You know, one thing that I didn't really touch on is a playset like this. I guess this is an adult playset because it doesn't have all the things and switches and all that we would normally have when we were a kid. But it's kind of funny that even when I was a kid, I played with my toys. I'm not going to use the word interact because I played with them. I mean, as an adult, I play with my toys. I interact with them, I guess. This pretty much the same way that I did when I was a kid. It's funny, when I was a kid, one of my neighbors across the street, one of the friends that I played with, he had an AT-AT. I had the Millennium Falcon. Another friend had something else. I think they had an AT-ST Walker. Somebody had a TIE Fighter. We would all just kind of get our vehicles together and then just plop them down. And this is the point that I was going to make that has to do with this. My play pattern is the same when I was a kid. What we would do is we would all gather our toys together. Everyone brought all their ships, like I mentioned. But we would just kind of just set them up. And then once we were done setting them out, we were looking at them going, all right, cool, that was good. All right, let's go. And that was it. And it really helped that one of my friends had the perfect play area. Like this was like one of those old, at the time, this was an old turn of the century house. It was a Los Angeles house, probably made in the 20s or something. That cool, you know, like something out of one of them old movies. But the craftsmanship in those days were different. It kind of had that little Art Deco style there in his wraparound porch. Well, his porch came out like that, and it cut off there, and there was a full cement, like an old crafted cement porch. And then right in front of it were the planters. Well, guess what? It felt like the Yavin headquarters. So we would park all of our vehicles right there. There was some trees right there on the floor, and we would just kind of like set the time up to just display and stand up our figures, and that was playing. And even when I played on my own, like I had my Millennium Falcon, I would kind of do like everybody just came back from an adventure and they just sat down and they were just camping. Like I would get like little pieces of food, or not real food, but I would get little pieces of plastic things that would look like food, and I would put it there and pretend they were like little Tupperware and cups. 80s Tupperware had a really weird look. I would put it right in there, and that was the food, that Dejaric table or whatever. They were eating off that table. I would get like little pieces of napkin, and that would be their bedding. I did stuff like that. When it was time for me to go to bed, sometimes I would put my action figures in camping positions. Like we camped a lot. My dad took us camping when I was a kid, when we were kids. And I don't know, just that just kind of programmed in me like that world building mentality. I would interact with my toys just like that. Like I would take my action figures, I would put them in like little scenarios where they were just chilling and going to sleep after they were done playing their adventure or whatever. That's how I interacted with my toys. I wasn't all like pew pew, bang bang, and zoom. I mean, I did that of course, but I treated my action figures as an extension of me. All the adventures that I wanted to have that I couldn't because I was a kid, I lived through my action figures. This is right up my alley. Like I like this. I can just sit here and I can tinker, and that to me triggers the same type of muscle memory, I guess, that I had when I was a kid, when I was doing the very same thing. I'm curious of the kids who grew up playing like that, what kind of adult collectors they are now. Like, are they the type who are going to set up their action figures? Or are they the type that's going to just like sit down on the floor Indian style with a plate set, bowl of cereal, and just kind of like bang it out with your toys? That's cool too, by the way. That's freaking awesome. I wish I could do that. Like I can't suspend enough reality with life and being an adult to like sit there and just forget about everything and just kind of like, all right, He-Man, let's go Skeletor. Blah, and I wish I could. Awesome. But for me, now, this is what I like. This is what I do. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you bought this, I'd love to hear what you think about it. And how do you play with it? Set it up, interact with it, whatever. I would love to hear that in the comments section. Did you have experiences like me when I was a kid where you play with it a very specific way? I would love to hear that as well. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you. If you like and subscribe, the comments, or hit the comments up as well. And talk to you next time.